Fossey. You may or may not have heard about my life journey living with the mountain gorillas in Rwanda. I was born in San Francisco in 1932. I have always loved animals, and when I was 19, I went to a farm in Montana over a break. Experiencing the animals and being able to work with them made me want to become a vet. So I attended pre-veterinary school, but I found it to be too hard. I then became an occupational therapist. My story begins when I was a young woman who had a dream to go to Africa. When I finally saved up enough, I went on a big tour, and that's where I first met Dr. Louis Leakey and heard about the mountain gorillas. Right away, I knew that that was what I wanted to do. I wanted to study the gorillas. After the Africa trip, I came home and got some photos and articles published. I heard about a lecture tour that was coming and that Dr. Louis Leakey was going to be part of it, so I decided to go ask about the job. Excuse me? Dr. Louis Leakey? I am Dian Fossey. I heard you needed someone to help you out with the gorillas. Yes, I do. I recently went on a trip to Africa. I took some photos and published some articles. I would really love to help study the gorillas. Wow, these articles are very good. I'm impressed. It would be really lovely to have you help us out with the gorillas. Really? Although, you will have to get your appendix removed. Okay. I found out later that it was a joke, but it was too late and I had already gotten it removed. When I was out with the gorillas, I would give them man-made things like pens and paper. I would then watch them carefully and write down their reactions. One of the items that I gave them was a mirror, and it was the most entertaining thing to watch them interact with it. I remember when I first met Digit, a little fluffy black ball so innocent and sweet. He was 5 years old at the time and had no friends to play with, so he was drawn to me. Our friendship blossomed over the years, and soon he became my favorite gorilla. National Geographic gave me a photographer to capture the essence of the mountain gorillas. My photographer was Bob Campbell. I was pretty rude to him in the beginning. He slept in a cold, wet tent, far away from everyone else. But when he started taking photos of Coco and Pucker, the baby orphan twin gorillas who were going to be put in captivity, he managed to get us on the cover of National Geographic, and everything changed. After that, we became closer. One night, I went to his tent. Hello. May I come in?
Yeah, sure. Well, this is definitely a surprise.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to stop by and say hi.
Say hi?
No, that's not true. I came here to do this. Sorry, I can't.
Sorry?
Soon I forgave him. He let me in, and we fell in love. Not everything about studying the mountain gorillas is pleasant. In Rwanda, there are a lot of poachers, and that is one thing I had to stand up against. Poachers are people who hunt animals illegally and do it for fun or for money. To scare the poachers away, I would put on a scary mask and chase them. They thought I was a witch. I tried my hardest to protect the gorillas, but sometimes I could not do anything. One time we went to where the gorillas lived, and there was Digit, dead, lying on the ground, with his head and limbs cut off. There are times when one cannot accept facts for fear of shattering one's being. As I listened to Ian's news, all of Digit's life since the first meeting with him 10 years earlier passed through my mind. From that moment on, I lived within an insulated part of myself. Because I have been so brave, standing up and protecting the gorillas, I have made many enemies. On December 27th, 1985, one of my enemies got their revenge. As I was sleeping in my bed, an unknown person crept into my cottage around the middle of the night. I was murdered with a machete. In the morning, they found me and laid me to rest at my research center in the mountains where I lived with the gorillas. To this day, they still do not know who my murderer was. Although I died in such a horrible way, I had many accomplishments. I wrote Gorillas in the Mist, which is a book about my life. This book inspired the movie. I hold the record for the longest running research on gorillas, which is actually still happening today. I made it possible for rangers to protect the gorillas. And lastly, Bob and I saved the gorillas, and there are now 650 living in the wild mountains of Rwanda.
Action.
Hello, my name is Dian Fossey. You may